played through a pretty sloppy game out there. 4-3 though. They ended up getting you with a couple runs towards the end. What did you think about your team's performance today?
Ooh, that's a good question. I thought Millicent threw the ball really well. That was encouraging to see. We had Underwood out there. Underwood hasn't pitched in 2 years and got himself into a little bit of trouble. So he's really a team morale guy. That was nice to see him out there. Nice to see him have 3 outs, but at the same time that didn't happen. And then it's just I think the consistency of putting it all together. If it's not one good at bat, then we don't follow it up with another one, and just looking for some more fluidity and consistency to kind of what we're doing. Our bullpen has not been real good lately, even though it has been pretty good. Stingy had been the beginning of the year, so and a lot of them, they're getting overworked, a little bit too. Provencher's thrown 3 times in 5 days, but at the same time, we're not doing enough to win right now, and that trend's got to change, for us. Even though we're going to UCLA and non-conference, we've got to find a way to play more consistent baseball, and baseball that gives us a chance to win, because we're in most every game. But at the same time, that you can't feel good because you're in games. You got to feel good in order to win games, and I think they got to learn that again. They're going to have to learn that again.
And you guys are suffering through a number of injuries coming into the season. Had some guys. You finally get Strufing back to add him to the mix with your pitching, but it seems like you got a couple guys that are sidelined right now. How do you kind of piece everything together with so many guys coming in and out right now, it seems like?
I mean, you hope you've done a good job preparing, them, as far as on the pitching end. Your quality you may be missing, but at the same time, you still got guys that have bullets and can be able to execute, so you have to. I mean, nobody's going to feel sorry for anybody. If it's this school over here, everybody's in the same boat. So, some may be worse than others, but at the same time, we have to find a way. That's not an excuse for us to be able to still compete and to win games as far as what we're doing. And it's nice to get Strufing back. The problem with Strufing is the inability to work with him in between outings, and that is where the execution and to be able to repeat things. Those things are a little bit hard. So sometimes you got to give up something in order to have the ability to pitch in a real game. But I mean, we've got enough depth on the position player end. We know our personnel. We know who can hit right-handers, who can have left-handers. And at the same time, Hamps and Brenner haven't been real good the last 2 games, so they're not getting on base. So we're not scoring a lot of runs. Northridge did a good job on Sunday against those 2 guys, and these guys didn't do much tonight either. So, but at the same time, if we can we're not playing horribly, but we're not playing well enough to win. So it's a real fine line.
And you're kind of hovering around the 500 mark on the season. What is something you're talking about the consistency? Is there one aspect of the game that you think if you can just kind of get that particular thing figured out, then that'll push you up and you can win a couple more of these rather than stay at win one, lose one?
Yeah, I think the one thing that has been consistent is our defense. So I mean, we're close to a 980, so that's solid. But as far as, I'm not even talking about hits, I'm talking about the ability to have quality at bats to score runs and make productive outs and things like that. That has to get consistent. We've got to get out of cripple counts at times on the mound. We've got to be able to not give people free opportunities. And when you do that, it's an instant offense and you put more stress on making big pitches. And we're always playing tight games. There are no games where, we're up by 5 or, going to win by 7 or anything like that. So I think the defense has been a staple for us, but the ability to have the other parts of the game be put together, and mainly the pitching and the quality of bats in order to score runs. I don't care about hits. It's just about scoring runs and getting on base and moving guys along. So, I think that's what everybody's looking for, and we're no different.
And you guys started off Big West 2-1 last weekend. You take a week off this weekend playing UCLA.
Right.
How do you feel your team is prepared for the rest of the Big West schedule?
I think they'll be in good shape. We got a tough weekend this weekend. Like I told them, I said, we're not playing well enough to win. We're not playing bad, but don't be satisfied with the trend of, hey, we're almost there, we're almost there. And it's going to be a grind this weekend. I mean, they got really good pitching, so they're going to have to fight and crawl, and we're going to have to pitch. We're going to have to play well, and so are they. You know, there's no difference. So all the work that we've done up to this point with the non-conference and the quality of the opponents that you play, you want it, and you hope that it continues to pay dividends for you as you continue to move on. So I still have always believed in it, and I will believe in it this year, because this team is a tight team. I mean, they do like each other and care for each other, and they're going to need it through, you know, these little tough patches that they're facing.